Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles Minutes. Today I'm coming at you with a video on becoming internally grounded. So, what does that mean? So, first we have to understand the context of who we are as our identity. And what is an identity? Identity is part of who we think we are. And it's usually grounded in what we do. Well, I'm a doctor. That's who I am. Not really. Well, I'm a father. I'm a man. That's who I am. Well, not really. Um, I have this much money in my bank account. I have a Ferrari. I have these things. So we tend to talk to ourselves and create value as a human being by what we do and what we have. The problem with that context is if you identify yourself as being a married man, what happens to your value if you get divorced? If you have identity in having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, what happens to you if they leave? Your self worth goes from this big to here overnight. So your identity or your value is based upon a doing or having, and that will definitely set you up to experience some major psychological pain and lead to anxiety and depression because your worth or values outside yourself and not internal. And doing that, it then causes us to be manipulative. So we have to, if it's in your boyfriend, like where's he at? What's he doing? Like, because if he leaves, my value leaves. If my money goes, I'll be neurotic. Like, what's my stocks doing? How much money's my bank account? Like, because if that goes, then I go. You'll feel dead inside and you'll have no identity or no value or worth because it's all based upon what you do and what you have. So, this is the context that society tells you you're not somebody unless you have somebody. You're not anybody unless you've accomplished something. Now, I'm not saying don't become your best self, don't go to school, don't get an education, all that stuff. And I'm not saying don't get married or have a career or build up a healthy bank account. What I'm saying is you don't want to establish your value or your identity in what you do or what you have. You do it in something called who you are, just being. Just being alive has value. So if you are a man and you have kids, and if you are all of a sudden paralyzed one day, now you can't work. Do you not have any worth now? Now that you can't do things with your kids, do you have no value? Would your kids not want to see you? Are you not still important? So this is very. It happened to me years ago when I got divorced. Like I lost everything that I had, and all my possessions, most of them, and that really caused a big problem for me because my identity of who I was based upon what I did and what I have. So when you ground yourself internally that you can choose to be happy, no reason. You can choose to love yourself, no reason. You can choose to accept yourself, which is a huge one for all the good, the bad, the ugly, as you are and are not, right here, right now. Your mind starts to settle down. You start to feel content because there's this inner war within ourselves of, well, I'm nobody unless I do something. I'm nobody unless I have something. If I don't have any possessions, I don't have any money in my bank account, then I have no worth. Nobody wants me. Nobody's going to have me. And this is all the crap that goes through our heads. And it causes neurosis and it causes anxiety. It causes us to be manipulative. It causes us not to truly love people. And we tend to strategize with people and create scams and schemes and games and mind games to trap someone into a relationship so then we have something and we did something and then we actually feel like we have worth. Then what it does, it inflates our ego, which is a false self, versus building the character. The character is I love myself as I am. So whether you have a spiritual base or not, that's up to you. I'm not telling you to do that. But some of the Christian philosophy is that God loves you just because, and he forgives you because he chooses to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to earn it. All you do is accept it. That's pretty simple. So, not saying that you have to do that, not saying not to do that, It's just something to explore, whether you want to do that from a Christian base or just when you do it within yourself. It's all up to you. But I strongly suggest that you create your value and worth on just being here, that you are a miracle, that you have value for being here, whether you can do something or not do something, whether you have something, you don't have something. And that internally grounds you as a person. So one book I'd recommend reading would be Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, who went through the Holocaust. They took away his family, they took away his career, they took away his money. He said his friends getting killed all around him, and he had a purpose for, going through it, which gave him hope. He saw a distant future, so when I get out of here, I'm going to share with everybody how I made it through, and that purpose made it through, and he learned to disassociate from all the horror going on around him, circumstances, situations, and stay grounded within himself, which allowed him to pass through this horrific time. So if you're going through hard times, or you're having an identity issue, or you're not for certain who you are or why you're valuable, you might want to look at that book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And another great book, it's a Christian book, is Man's Search for Significance by Robert McGee. So I hope this video helped you out a lot, and I wish you the best of luck in your future. Thanks.